Disclosure, I was invited by the Panzermuseum in the past. Now I guess it's time to answer the question that comes up again and again on both of my channels. Why is there disclosure in the beginning and in the end of some of my videos, particularly when I visit the museum or something similar? Well, it's rather simple, to cover my flanks. So in the early days of my channel, I was informed by a new regulation, and so I reached out to the appropriate channels and did some research. And a public official who was also a lawyer informed me basically that once I receive anything from a company that is worth €1 or more in services or material goods, and I use this to produce a video, I have to basically disclose this. And so I looked myself at several laws and regulations, and I think I also looked at Germany and some others because I didn't know if I would move soon or later or anyway. And what I saw was, in some cases you had disclosed at the beginning of the video, in some cases at the end, some both or something, and ideally visually and verbally. So I decided basically to cover my flanks as most extensively as possible. So I went with 10 in the 10 first second and in the last 10 seconds of a video to disclose this. And yeah, do this as a standard practice. I was also basically proven right because the Austrian channel Tech Magnet a few years ago actually got a problem with the law, and if you watch this video you will see it's quite ridiculous because he was accused of doing Schleichwerbung, which means covert advertising, or surreptitious advertising is probably the more correct term, but covert advertising I think is understandable for also non-native speakers, or it's a non-technical term. So basically I think he did a review of a smartphone, and he filmed also some clips for friends of his who had a startup. I think it was e-bike or something similar. And at one point you could barely see the logo of the company, and yeah, he was fined for this, or at least he got a warning, and he had to declare something in front of the next video or something along those lines. So yeah, that happened, and we also see similar guidelines in the United States, for instance from the FTC guidelines for disclosing affiliate links and all that. As far as I know, many YouTubers don't disclose stuff like this. This might be because it's not necessary in their jurisdiction, or they don't care or don't know. And I generally like, I like fire and forget. I wanted to do a process that I don't have to revise once a law changes or once I change a country. So I took basically the most restrictive way I could find. And that's about it. Yeah, there's not much more to it. And this is also right, sometimes it's legally required. Yeah, it's not legally required that I get invited. It's not legally required to visit the museum. It's legally required to disclose that I basically got infiltrated, or that I received some praise or something else. Yeah, I hope this answers all your questions. I'm not particularly happy to do this. I also did this with books, by the way, and this is one of the reasons why I basically stopped accepting book donations from companies, because I realized I get more hesitant if I had to put the disclosure in the beginning and the end of the video, because people might sponsorship. It's also quite annoying. Yeah, I'm kinda used to it by now, but it's still, yeah. I hope this answers all your questions. If you have some more questions, I also did a comment about the law. That magnet was affected. You can see if you watch the video. My comments reflect about it. And I think it's still quite dramatic. probably less dramatic than like we are on the channel. And by the way, it took me probably, I don't know, 5 attempts or years to make finally this video without having a full barrage of rage while saying they were relaxed, and so this was actually went quite well. Anyway, thank you for watching, thank you for supporting the channel, and see you next time. Bye. Disclosure, I was invited by the Panzermuseum in the past.